Hello, my name is Diana Dias. So this channel we will focus on the INFP personality type from the Myers-Briggs, and which I think I am one. I'm not sure, 99% sure that I'm an INFP. I just need to be officially typed, but I've studied the cognitive functions for a year and a half. Almost 2 years now, and I really think I am an INFP, but that's actually the reason why I'm making this video. The video that inspired this one, the Type Police from Talking with Famous People, typing Megan Lavotta, I think that's how we say it, Megan Lavotta, and she's an ENFJ, and she ends up being typed an ENFJ, and that was awesome to see. That was really awesome to see. She really has that vibe of ENFJs. She reminds me of my sister, who I think he's an ESFJ. She just has that harmonious vibe where she can make everyone around her feel good, and like she is the opposite of aggressive. She's the opposite of TI. TI, I think, is aggressive, and it is just so not natural for her to have this vibe, this harmonious vibe. And this video really inspired me because I really think that I am an INFP. I'm like really an INFP. I'm just really an INFP. I've questioned my type a lot because I've heard so many people say they were being mistyped. If you think you're an INFP, you probably aren't. So it gets kind of hard to really figure out if you are an INFP or not. But thankfully, I've searched a lot, and I'm pretty confident I am one. I really wanted to make this video to check out your opinions if you really think that I am an INFP. Because if I am, I'll be making more content about it. But since I am on a low budget, and since people are typing each other just because they are assuming to be some type, I wondered, why not do the same? Maybe someone can type me, please? If I get reassured that I'm an INFP, I'll be making videos about my childhood. I'll be making videos about my childhood, my personal questions, my life at work, and even my perception of the world and how I go through life. But well, I'll say that I'll do this, but it will probably be hard for me to be consistent. So I'll be answering some of the normal typing questions. My cat over there. My cat over there. So the thing that really resonates with me and INFP is the emotion, the amount of emotion. I've always been really emotional. I've always been really emotional all my life. I've always, since a child, cried during movies. I remember even a book making me cry. Marley and Me. Yeah, that one. I always felt music differently from other people, and I've always got a lot of shivers from listening to music. And I can say that even my body is very sensible. Like, I get cold very easily, I get sleepy very easy, I get hungry very easily. And I can even sense the effects from caffeine very easily and from alcohol very easily. And I can immediately feel the consequences of drinking something afterwards. And it is really interesting because my sister doesn't drink coffee at all. And she once wanted me to describe how it feels, why I drink it. It must feel something really great because people really love drinking coffee. And so I could even describe the effects just like from one sleep and then 2 minutes later, 5 minutes later, and even the adrenaline it gives to the energy. And I could describe it so easily that I think other people wouldn't be able to do it. I can just describe what I feel. Even if I can describe it, I'm really aware of what I'm feeling when I do something. So what I think the majority of the day, like now it's like thoughts about psychology and processing, like when I'm working and if I'm not talking to someone, I'm just processing what people said. I'm just processing what happened, and maybe I'm feeding ideas that are just not going to happen. Imagining fake scenarios. At school, I used to imagine I could spend the whole class just imagining fake scenarios. At that time was probably with a crush of mine. I could just spend hours imagining what would be our romantic future, which never happened. It never did. Also, if I'm really stressed and frustrated for a long time, I start to think about people just judging me. I get overwhelmed with people judging me, and I sometimes spend a lot of time thinking that people are just judging me. I don't know why. I really hate it when that happens. I really do. But that's when I'm really low in my confidence and in my mental health, basically. So I wrote some notes just to know what I was going to say, because I would lose all the ideas, because when I had this idea of this video, if I did not write it out right then I would just forget what I was going to say completely. So I wrote psychology and fake scenarios. I would say it's 80% of my thoughts. But if I'm alone and if I'm working, I just overthink all the possible ways people are judging me. That's so awful. I was really stressed when I wrote this. So my notes just ended, so I did not finish my notes, probably because I got too sleepy. So I'll just go from here. So I don't know what else to tell you. I'll just say that I've always cried very easily. Like even today, I was so happy because I'm on holiday now. I was so happy because I could do whatever I wanted, and I just put on a song. It was Suddenly I See, and I was so happy to just sing it and just having time to be myself. And I was so happy and so relieved that I cried. It's so strange. I'm just getting emotional now just thinking about it. Like something can inspire me so much that I'm able to cry. Damn. So in my teenage years, I've always been really into music. Cool, I've always been really good at math. And I've always been a really good student. I really liked school. Because I wasn't the type of person to having friends very easily, so school was a way to get to know people, and you are forced to socialize. So it was a way for me to make friends, because if it wasn't for school, I probably wouldn't have any friends, which I don't have many, and I'm having lesser and lesser friends with age. Maybe because I don't force myself to socialize anymore, and now with the pandemic it's getting worse. It's getting really worse. It is better like at work, when I'm because the only people I get to be with are my colleagues, so I try to be friends with them. I really try. But like, I work at the supermarkets, and I always feel like we don't have much in common. I actually feel like we don't have anything in common. Like, I really feel like I should be somewhere else. It's so strange, because I've been to, like, finding what I wanted to do with my life was always my biggest struggle. It still is. I still don't know what I want to do. I My mom even offered me to, if you want music so much, why don't you go study music? But I don't just want to study music and be a teacher, you know? Like, I want the freedom to be creative. I want the freedom to, if I don't want to play music, then I'm not going to. There would be the most fulfilling life, like not having any obligation, and just, or maybe the obligations you have would be just really small, just a third of your day, maybe 3 hours of obligations, not 8 hours like we have now. And that's just work. And then I have to do house chores, and that whole day is just overwhelming, and it is just so boring to live. It really is. Like, I sometimes look at my life now. Again, I'm feeling emotional, I don't know why. I sometimes look at my life and I feel like I really hate it. I really hate it. The only thing that makes my life good is YouTube. Really, I'm addicted to YouTube completely. I just love to. I can spend an entire afternoon just watching personality type videos. I can spend hours. Like the other day, I spent the whole afternoon just watching YouTube, like for 5 or 6 hours, and then I ended it, and I told my boyfriend, this was the best day. This was the best day for a long time. This was my best day for a long time. For a long time that I wasn't alone, like completely focused in ideas, just ideas, not things to do, not physical stuff, not obligations, just feeding ideas. That is just addicting to me. It's not something that I enjoy doing. It is addictive. It is really addictive. Like, when I stop, I've always really been into music and arts. I've been into arts. So in my teenage years, I went through a really dark phase, because I was this good student. I got A's in most of the subjects, and then I was feeling lost, because it became something purposeless, purposeless. Like it had no purpose to continue studying those things in my adolescence. And my mom had this idea that me and my sister should go and learn how to play guitar, and I was really happy to go learn how to play guitar. And and it showed, like when I started to do it, I felt more alive than ever. I really felt it was my passion, and it showed that my sister wasn't so excited as I am. She went to a class or two, but she just lost interest. She was more into riding horses and physical stuff. Even when we were kids, she used to be outside all the time, and I was always inside watching TV or reading a book. I spent a lot of time playing The Sims. I was really inwards. She was always so outwards, and she still is, and I'm still inwards. So that is a big difference. I think sensors like to be more outside than intuitives. Intuitives just enjoy feeding thoughts. Feeding thoughts. They don't need the action. Right? Am I right? I actually enjoyed my work for the first year, the first 2 years, and then it got extremely boring. Just boring. I really loved the client connection because we have to help clients and serve them. Like, I feel useful. I felt more useful than I've ever did in my life. That was the biggest gift. And also, it taught me a lot about being productive and organize myself. So it has its benefits. But but now, 5 years in that job, I realize it has nothing to do with me. Like, I feel I feel I feel it's not the right place for me, you know? And I feel like my mom was right. I'm more intelligent than to just be working at a supermarket. No offense. It's not an easy job. It really isn't. But I can give I can give food for thought for long time, for for a long time, and I can keep up an argument for a long time, and I have opinions. I know about politics. I have a cultural background that people who work there don't have, and that's totally okay. I just don't feel fulfilled there. I feel the need to have a job that feeds my creative thoughts, you know? That's it. I really need that. And I've always been really good at writing. Like, I've never written a book or never tried to write songs. I've tried to write songs, but I've never finished writings. But when I like write small texts or like small poems or even for school, I was really good at it. Like I was really good at maths, and I was really good at Portuguese too. I sometimes feel the longing for something fulfilling, you know? But and I think maybe all people feel the same. Probably all people feel the same, and I feel like the only true fulfilling thing for me now is YouTube. It really is. And playing guitar and playing songs. So one thing that I really resonate with INFPs is the addiction to finding their purpose. I've been getting used to this longing of purpose now, but I've always searched for my purpose, always. And I've been like, sometimes I have this idea that I feel it's really good. I really feel it's really good, this idea, and it will change my life if I can just focus on this idea. It will change my life. And then the next day I just change my mind. I'll just change my mind. And then I'll see, oh, it's not that a great idea. Maybe I have to find another purpose of life. Like, I've been into law. I've been into law. I wanted to be a lawyer. I've wanted to be a teacher. I've wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. I've wanted to be just an artist. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a business manager. I've wanted to be, and then after all that didn't work out, then I went back to ideas. Like, I've been into new age ideologies, I've been into veganism, I've been into politics, I've been now I'm into psychology types. So I don't know how long this will last, but it has lasted for a really long time now, so it's fine. And so I change my ideas a lot, really a lot. Even deciding on what ice cream flavor I'm going to eat can be really difficult. It can be really difficult to just choose something. Like, even to buy something to wear, it's difficult. Most things that I have are given, and like, if I went to buy them, I wouldn't like them. But if people give me, and then I wear them and I feel it fits me, and then, oh, I like them. But if I went to buy, I wouldn't like them. It's so strange. It's really strange. But I have been fighting this indecisiveness, but I've accepted it, that it is just a part of me. And even when my boyfriend especially says, oh, you have to choose something for the rest of your life, and like, no, I can't. It's not me. Like, I've been through all these ideologies, and I've always felt really happy when I was focused in them. But then my brain changes and it opens up a little bit more, and I change to something else. So I think it will happen the same with psychology. I'll never stop growing, so I'll never stop in just one thing. Sometimes I wish people could understand me more in that specific area, because, well, I would like my boyfriend to understand that it's impossible for me to just choose one thing, But I'm older now and I just want a job. I've accepted the fact that it is not that easy to have a creative job. So I have just decided to find a job that is the minimum fulfilling, and that it gives me a stable and a comfortable life, because I'm not having that comfortable life now at my job. But one thing I love my job is that it never is the same. Like, there's no routine. Like, sometimes I wake up at 5 a.m. and I sometimes can start my job at 12 p.m. And like, the days are never the same. Sometimes we have rushes of clients and it will be such an adrenaline. Like, you have to work so hard in that limited period of time, and then you can just calm down. So it's not like a methodic job. It's, even though it has to be organized, but it's really, sometimes you feel the rush of the adrenaline, and that's what I really enjoy about my work. I think I deal with I think I work better when I have pressure than when I don't. When I don't, I find it hard to just get things done. So that's an IP thing, I guess. But the thing is, I really am really emotional, and I really am an intuitive. The things that made me question my type were that IFIs were extremely confident about who they were, and I'm not. I'm not confident. Like, well, one thing that is for sure is that IPs, or like single deciders, are afraid of people, and that is the story of my life. I've always been so afraid of people. I had to make a constant effort to be normal, to talk normal to people. Even now, I find it really hard when I have to go tell something unpleasant to someone who is in a higher hierarchy than me, like that this job is not done. Well, I think that person will just freak out, and I just get so scared to tell them that I avoid it the most. And sometimes people think that I just don't want to tell the things that I just don't want to be truthful, but I kind of avoid telling the bad stuff. It's not that I'm fake. I'm so afraid of people's reaction, and I can't confront people with anything. I can't. I just can't. So this video is getting too long. I'm just talking and rambling. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you think my type is. I still think it's really INFP. I can't think about any other type. Maybe, well, I've had some doubts about ENFP, but then that video that Dave and Sean made on Rhett and Link's relationship, like Rhett is an ENFP, and he's not afraid of people at all. Like, double observers are not afraid of people. So I figured, okay, then I'm an INFP, totally. And then on the CS Joseph test, I got INTP, and I thought of that possibility, but and I sometimes am extremely arrogant. I can be extremely arrogant, especially at my job when I'm stressed and I need to get things done. If people don't get out of the way, I will be really aggressive. It's like I'm not even myself. I can't even recognize myself. I guess that's my TE really showing off. So I thought maybe I could be an INTP, but then I can only think about emotions and feelings all the time. I just get super emotional all the time. I can't be a thinker. I just can't. This new channel, oh, this channel is so good. Like, I'll just link the link below because he's awesome in getting the difference between INTPs and INFPs. And it really helped me because INTPs are more focused on the universe, how things work, like gravity, science. They want to make people happier by improving technology. Like, I couldn't care less about technology. I really couldn't. Like, the important thing for me is poems, films, songwriting, arts, uh, making people feel good, but through arts. And that's all I could ever say. And also, I really wish I was not like this because this is super hard to live like this. I don't know if I haven't found my path and a fulfilling place, but life is super hard being an INFP and having to work so much and doing so much organization. It's overwhelming. It really is. And I really want to be a mother, but just thinking about the amount of work that I will have to deal with, it really makes things difficult. So let me know your opinion. I'm just so curious. Finally, I'll get to know. And I know some of you are really into this topic and some of you have a lot of knowledge about this.